Good evening and welcome to my laboratory. This is the wireless power transmitting apparatus. This is the main secret module. The only changes that I've made to the main secret module are that I've made a new transmitting loop for it. It's a little bit bigger than the old one. Where's the old one? Here's the old one. And so the new one is about 2 inches longer than the old one. That's the old one. And in the receiver, I've actually changed the capacitors there to a different type, and I think it works better. I blew out the old bulb, so this is a replacement bulb. And as you can see, it's glowing quite brilliantly. And I don't even actually think that it's in the full resonant mode yet. But it could be. This is actually pretty close. Right about there is where you can sort of see, right in there is where there's that shift from kind of normal 1 over R decay excuse me, to it sort of clicks into really bright, and then the brightness doesn't fall off very much with distance, if at all, when it's in that mode. But sometimes it doesn't shift into the mode. Like right now, it's not in that mode. You can see how the brightness falls off. Somewhere in there. And I found actually that if I turn it off and turn it on, there, see, it'll start up in that super bright mode. See there? So I think what's happening is it's in true resonance when it does that. And then in this condition, it's not quite in real resonance. But in the truly resonant mode, within the range there, it doesn't have that 1 over R fall off. In fact, the light even kind of gets brighter towards the outermost limit as the current draw goes up a little bit. Okay, now that is a 13.5 volt, 5 watt automotive bulb, type 6811, I think. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. What is it? 6811? No, I'm sorry, it's a 6418 double L, 13.5 volt, 5 watt. And I have another new receiver made there, and that one has a 10 watt bulb in it. That's a 6411 13.5 volt 10 watt automotive bulb. And as you can see, it's a very rudimentary receiver. There's nothing to it except a loop of wire, the bulb, and a little spring to put some tension on holding the bulb in there. And that's a polypropylene rolled capacitor similar to the ones that are in the transmitter. It's the same capacitance value but less voltage, and of course that means it's smaller. But that's a 10 watt bulb, and as I put that in there, you can see that one really, ooh, and when it shifts into the full resonance mode, man, you could call that a supernova there. But it has no trouble powering both the bulbs at normal brightnesses. But yeah, when I first saw that supernova mode right there, man, that's your wireless powerless transmitter going on right there. But in that mode, this capacitor gets pretty warm. Ouch. Yeah, it's pretty warm. So the choice of the correct capacitor type, well, the choice of the value is important to get it to resonate properly, but the choice of the type of capacitor is going to be important for durability, because as hot as that capacitor is getting, it's gonna melt down. Uh-oh, what happened? Just blow the bulb? I think so. Either blew the bulb or the capacitor. Let's see. I can still see the filament in there. But obviously it's not working anymore. Okay, there you go. Supernova destroys parts. Okay, the good news is that it wasn't the bulb that went bad before, it was the capacitor. That bulb is $3 at the car parts store, that 10-watt bulb. But that super precision 5% or 2.5% polypropylene rolled capacitor was only $1.25. So from my viewpoint, it was a little bit better that it was the capacitor that went bad and not the bulb. So I replaced the capacitor with another one of those orange sprays. Oops. Which for some reason don't want to focus to where you could actually read what's written on there. Anyhow, that's a Sprague 0.056 orange drop there. Woo! Sorry about the light. Okay, anyhow, let me go back to. So anyhow, that's the second receiver. That's a 10-watt bulb in there, and that capacitor and the little spring just pulling things together to add contact tension. And you can see that when we, oh boy, when we hit that supernova mode, man, that sucker goes, don't it? And you can sure see when it gets to it too. And with both of the bulbs in there, you can see that one of them gets really, really bright, and then the other one gets bright, and they're both glowing really bright, and that is one hell of a bright bulb there. And that's all wireless. Let's see if I take this one over here. That one over there where it's just glowing a little bit. And then this one comes in. Yeah, and see, I can get, once it's in that supernova mode with the correct capacitor, I can move pretty far away before it actually switches back out. And if I think if I can even get a little bit better match, I can get even further away. But you can see that within that range, before it switches back to the normal mode, it doesn't change. There's no fall off with distance, apparently. Anyhow, okay, so the good news is that the wasn't the bulb, it was the capacitor. Not $2.50 or $3 for a little car automotive light bulb. That's absurd. Anyway, that's a 10-watt 13-volt bulb there. Thank you for watching.